Hello from Make Use Of. I'm Tim Brooks, and today I'll be reviewing the iPad Air 2, Apple's thinnest tablet to date. The model I'm looking at here is in gold, but you can also pick one up in silver and what Apple likes to call space grey for a more traditional look. As you can see, the unit is incredibly thin with a total thickness of 6.1mm, an 18% reduction on last year's already impressively small update. Holding the device face on, the only real difference you will notice is the fingerprint scanner, which allows you to unlock the device and pay for apps using Touch ID. A quick glance at the right-hand side of the device reveals another change. Apple has this time chosen to omit a physical mute button, instead opting for iPhone 6-like elongated volume controls. You can still put the iPad into mute mode, you'll just need to visit Control Center in order to do so. It's a bit frustrating, but the functionality remains intact, so it's no biggie. It's hard to fault the iPad Air 2 design, particularly if you are fond of the original iPad Air. Unlike the iPhone 6 Plus, which feels a little top-heavy when held loosely, the iPad Air 2 is perfectly weighted and feels great in the hand. You can wave it around one-handedly, pick it up in a dash, or sit there reading a digital edition of a book or magazine that's thinner, lighter, and dare I say it, more engaging than its paper counterpart. This airy, tactile experience is partly down to Apple's choice of materials, once again opting for soft aluminium which will dent, scratch, and show signs of use much sooner than your old stainless steel iPhone 4 did. I have the battle scars on last year's iPad Air to prove it, so some sort of protection in the form of a hard case is advised if you're prone to accidents. While the iPad Air 2 is visually very similar to the original iPad Air, internally there are some big changes worth noting. In particular is the new A8X processor, offering a 40% performance boost over the A7 found in previous models. Apple also promises double the graphics performance and has outfitted the new model with a deserved 2GB of RAM. This all adds up to a silky smooth experience and is noticeably snappier than last year's model. The extra memory means you won't be reloading web pages all the time when switching tabs, and apps won't drop out of memory quite so much when multitasking. The performance boost is significant, though at times hard to gauge thanks to the previous model's continued impressive performance. Suffice to say that demanding 3D games and resource-intensive music or video apps won't bring your iPad to a grinding halt. Another particularly impressive achievement is Apple's ability to reduce battery size and improve performance while still squeezing a comfortable 10 hours out of the lithium-ion cell. It would be nice to see that number increase at some point in the future, but it's more than enough for most common tablet use scenarios. Taking photos on a tablet is generally frowned upon, but that hasn't stopped the team at Cupertino from fitting a brand new iSight camera, declaring it the best iPad camera yet, and taking advantage of the image signal processor on the A8X chip for a cleaner image. The new camera shoots 8MP images, 1080p video, and 120 frames per second slow motion in HD. The improvements make the iPad Air 2 a compelling and connected run-and-gun filming and editing station for videographers on the move, particularly when paired with some third-party accessories. The front-facing FaceTime camera has also been updated with a better sensor for a cleaner and brighter image. One last major update comes in the form of a brand new screen, which has been completely redesigned in order to make it thinner, using the same contrast ratio boosting techniques found in the latest iPhones. This essentially means there is less space between your finger and the screen in operation, providing a more tactile experience, particularly when using a fine-tipped stylus. In terms of visual quality, there's very little difference between the original iPad Air and this one, though the contrast ratio seems slightly better on newer models when comparing the two. On the surface, this is a minor upgrade that adds a few sorely missed features that were absent on the original revision. Dig a little deeper and you'll find a hardware overhaul, a vastly improved camera, and slightly better screen. So, should you upgrade? Coming from an older, larger iPad like the iPad 2 makes this an excellent upgrade. It's half the thickness of past models and considerably faster. It's everything the iPad Air should have been the first time round, so if your iPad is feeling a little crusty, you can do much worse than the iPad Air 2. If you own the original iPad Air, then one might question your priorities if you already feel the need to upgrade simply because Apple released another tablet. Even if you are upgrade obsessed, there isn't a big enough leap in performance or features to justify the expense. I own the original model and have never had any trouble rendering web pages, playing games, or running multiple resource-heavy music apps simultaneously. I'm not saying it's not an impressive upgrade, but don't write the old model off just yet. To read our full review and be in with a chance of winning your own iPad Air 2, head to makeuseof.com.